social media platforms have their own advantages and disadvantages.
Humans evolved for thousands of years to communicate in person. We cannot always find people who have our idiosyncrasies, our ideologies.
We are comparing our real life with others' abstract life. But balance is the key.
And I talk to them, they seem like good people. Another reason that could hinder not only learning English, but anything actually, is that these days we have social media, and that could be a problem sometimes because beside the fact that it can have a lot of benefits, businesses can grow through social media, people can connect better through social media, they can exchange ideas we could never exchange. They can find friends, they can get into relationships through social media, and it can be a very beneficial platform for anybody, any social media, really. But the unfortunate part is the fact that we cannot control ourselves to not misuse it. We cannot just get out of it. Like we cannot control the time that we spend on it. That's why it's just kind of hindering a lot of the pursuits that we're following to reach, and it's a little bit sad, right? Like a lot of the kids are just on social media not doing anything, and that's a sad part as well. Any ideas in that one?
Yeah, I do agree completely with you that it is sad that we know and we see that a lot of kids are struggling and using from social medias, I mean, like Instagram. So we know a lot of people that they are under even 13 years old or 14 years old, and they have an Instagram account or maybe TikTok or any other stuff like this. But maybe you can't believe that I do not have any TikTok account up to now, that I'm more than 20, because I hate it. And you know that social media platforms have their own benefits and I mean advantages and disadvantages. So at first, I would like to convey some benefits or advantages of social media platforms. So the first one is that uh, we just we are able to connect with our family and friends, and we can get in touch with them. Like that maybe we have a friend that he's living in America, I mean United States, and the other one is living in China. So it is impossible to meet them face to face. So in this case, social media platforms help us a lot. So to be get in touch with them. And the second one is that we still can find a lot of pages and videos that are educated. I mean educational videos and pages. The third reason or the third advantage of social media platform is just being aware of some fresh and first hand news
Yeah.
throughout the world. And I love this part of social media platforms. And in other hand, they have a lot of disadvantages as well. So the first one is just wasting time. And it is the most important one. We are not able to control our time, so we will absolutely scroll our time on social media platforms. So we should have this ability to control ourselves, and we should not be controlled with social media platforms. And that is the first one. And the second one is just that still we have a lot of people that they are trying to compare their life with another one. I mean, with another people
Ah,
or person. That we have to know that we are comparing our real life with others' abstract life. So because we do not know anything about the person who we are comparing with ourselves, and it is harmful and it is frustrating. And the third one is just that social media platforms to cause that we face lack of face-to-face communication. You know that. Yeah. So if we have a small or even big, I mean, work or job with our friend, so we prefer to just message them or call them rather than just go them and meet them in person. So it causes that we face lack of face-to-face communication, and these are the three disadvantages of social media platforms that I
Uh,
have mentioned, I think.
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, exactly. I 100% agree because of the fact that first, you said like we can communicate with our friends and families. Like, imagine before social media, yeah, there was calling. I mean, for a short period of time, we had these phones through which we could call people, but that was like not as fun. Like, we could not see each other like this. Like, imagine I'm communicating with you. I've never seen you. I've never met you, but this interesting person I'm talking to right now, I found you through social media. And I found a lot of other people in my life through social media that were like, I've like seen very interesting people on social media because you can find like-minded people, you know? It's just that it's a huge world and we cannot always find people who think like us, who have our idiosyncrasies and our ideologies and our viewpoints and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying it matters the most to always find similar individuals, but it is fun. It can be fun because you can value the traits that you value the most in yourself in other people as well, and find the right path or the confidence that you need throughout the way. So it does matter to meet other people through social media. But as you said, the con to that pro is the fact that we cannot have that feeling of face-to-face conversation. You know, humans are not designed for screens. We've evolved for millions of years, at least in the form of humans for hundreds of years, for thousands of years, to communicate each other face to face in person. And there are a lot of delicacies, there are a lot of nuances in the way that we communicate when we're face to face. We understand these little, expressions, we these little traits of body language and everything that when we're face to face, we understand those, we get those. So it feels like a whole different layer of information that we're receiving face to face that we're not receiving through online calling or stuff like that. And we are missing a lot of those. And we also are more respectful. We are more considerate when we're talking in person rather than when we're talking on social media, right? Because that
Yeah.
little barrier, that little thing, that little curtain of decency sometimes just goes away on social media, and we become these
Yeah.
rude, anxious, insecure individuals sometimes, and we go out there and we just start cursing and swearing at people, and that's not good. That's not good. That's a con to the social media age, and also the educational material you talked about, you mentioned it also matters a lot because now we can find very customized educational material, and that's very good because back then when I was imagine when I was studying English, I could never find this kind of page. I'm not saying this is like, I'm not trying to brag or something, but this kind of a page could help me a lot because when I was speaking, I mean, when I was studying English in general, I could use a lot of help, but speaking specifically is a bit more difficult than everything else because when you're speaking, you have to bring in all the vocabularies that you've learned, all the grammatical functions that you've learned, all the, little idioms and slangs and the way that you shape sentences and everything. You have to bring them all in to your brain under a second. You have to form some thoughts
Mhm.
and create a sentence, and then you have to just say it out loud. It all has to happen like very very quickly, and that's what makes it very difficult. So I could really, really use somebody to correct me instantly, to correct me in real time as I spoke. I really needed that kind of reformation. I really needed that kind of correction procedure where I could just grow better and better, but I couldn't have it. I couldn't have customized material. I couldn't have good books. I couldn't have access to hundreds and thousands of videos and books and articles and uh, grammatical functions, chapters, and whatever that kids these days have access to. I couldn't access any of those. And
Absolutely.
that's why social media and internet in general matters a lot. But at the same time, yeah, you said yeah, the cons are a lot. The human endocrine system, it works in a way that it kind of inserts some sort of hormones in your blood to shape the way that you feel about things. And one of those hormones is called dopamine. You may have heard about it. And dopamine is like the hormone of I mean, it kind of makes you feel uh as if you've achieved something, as if you've done something. A little bit proud, a little bit rewarded. It's called the human reward system. So when dopamine is inserted in your blood by your body, you feel as if you've been rewarded. And
Yeah.
it's the same for a person who has paid the full mortgage to their house in the United States today, or the person who 10,000 years ago finished the last brick on their house, right? They both feel the same. They feel that they've achieved something. They feel that they've completed something. They feel rewarded because of that dopamine hormone, right? And that dopamine hormone used to be used to be inserted in our blood through very natural causes, through very natural achievements. But nowadays, through social media, we've kind of tricked it a little bit. How have we tricked it in the sense that we're like watching some short clips on social media? We feel we're like learning something, or we're like being aware of something, or we're like doing something. It feels as if we're doing something, whereas in reality, we're not. We're not actually doing anything. We're not actually learning anything,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to short clips. Especially when you said you didn't like TikTok. I'm 100% on the same page with you because through YouTube, I can find a lot of educational material. Through Facebook or Instagram, I can connect to my friends. Through WhatsApp, I can video call to my parents or something. But TikTok is one of those stuff that it only has short clips, and although I'm scrolling a lot, don't take me wrong, I'm scrolling a lot. I'm wasting a lot of my time just like anybody else. But TikTok is only that. And that just every time I install it, I just uninstall it after a while. After a while, and it's just not
Oh,
as fun for me because it's yeah, I see that as just a time wasting app. But I know a lot of people love it, so I understand. I understand how it works, how the whole thing works. But in general, yeah, it's just that hormone. It's just that dopamine. It's just a cheap dopamine that comes from these kinds of social media browsing. And that ruins our lives because it just wastes so much time. And also, the last point was a very good point that you mentioned, and it was comparing. Man, the reason we cannot stop ourselves from comparing ourselves to other people. We see whatever they post. They post their best part of life, and it's not even like their real life because they just get the pictures from the best angles possibles with the best filters in the best locations possible. That's not anybody's lives. I mean, maybe 1 in 100, maybe 1 in 1,000 person, they're like super rich and they're like they don't have to do anything and they have to go everywhere, but that's not everybody. Like a lot of the pictures that you see on social media, that's just a very tiny snapshot of a very short moment of their lives. And that's but we keep comparing ourselves to those people, and we keep just feeling bad about ourselves, and that just destroys
yeah,
our
absolutely.
self-confidence, and that's not good at all.
Absolutely. You know that I know a lot of people that they are posting a lot of pictures from themselves. I mean, yeah, from themselves on maybe Instagram. But when I just met them in person, I found them completely in opposite. That after that, I realized that social media is not true, and it is better that we have to say that social abstract media. It would be a great name for these
Right.
platforms, yeah,
I understand
because
what
they
you're
are
saying.
completely
Yeah,
abstract, yeah.
exactly.
But in general and totally, I don't want to say that social media platforms are bad. It
No, in
is
general, they're not.
absolutely, yeah, it is absolutely good. But maybe in in some cases, it has bad impacts. But
There's
in
nothing
general,
100%
yeah,
black and white in the world, anyways.
absolutely. But balance is the key.
Yeah.
Balance of using in platform, I mean, in social media platforms is the key. So, that when I am studying or, yeah, when I have like a normal day, I just prefer to turn off all my notifications that have even WhatsApp or maybe Telegram or maybe just YouTube is turned on, but a lot of another one like WhatsApp, Telegram, or maybe Instagram, I just turn them off.
Right.
So yeah, it is good for me, and after that, I feel comfortable with myself because and otherwise, I just scrolling, I just searching, so it takes my time a lot. Yeah, that's why I just turn them off.
I mean, I'm not gonna say that I can do it because every time I'm just doing it, I unfortunately I just jump back to it.
Oh,
But I understand that when you just quit social media, or if you don't quit it, at least you just decrease it significantly. Then you start to see very small things in life that are enjoyable, like the air that you breathe, the places that you go, even a small walk, even a little bit of biking, even just a football with your friends. I don't know, like watching a movie, like doing something, just going somewhere, talking to somebody. Even those small things, they feel outstanding. They feel extraordinary. They feel awesome when you quit social media for a while because you get out of that cheap dopamine system for a while, that cheap joy, that like, fake kind of feeling of getting rewarded, and then you understand the value of life as it is. And
yeah.
I think it's a very like for anybody who can do it. I mean, because I'm seeing a lot of people who are not into social media at all, and they can just be,
Oh,
they're very real. They're like
yeah.
they feel very
You're
real
absolutely.
to me, and I admire those people a lot. Because I myself,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I do it. Like I do it sometimes, but I just jump back to it. Just, they do it, and unfortunately, jump back to it. I hope that one day I can just do it completely and just get out of it as much as I can.
Yeah. So that I would like to share with you just a tiny or small story
Hmm.
about Afghanistan. You know that maybe one month ago or 2 months ago, we didn't have internet connection and we didn't have any accessibility to any internet for maybe 2 days. I think 2 days. Yeah, if I don't mistake. I mean, if I yeah
If I
don't
am,
mistake. Yeah,
yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah. If I'm not mistaken. So that a lot of people that they didn't have any internet for just 2 days. So they were talking to each other that you growed and you became taller. I mean, you raised a lot. So that they were busy and they were struggling with social media platforms, and they didn't care about their around. I mean, their environment. So they were completely unaware about their environment. So that can you
I totally
imagine and can you
understand.
believe it? Yeah.
I totally understand because there
And
was
they,
this Iranian guy who posted a joke. He said that for a few days, like for a full day, we didn't have internet. The internet was cut off, and I went downstairs and I met my parents and I talked to them. They seemed like good people.
Absolutely, yeah. They seem like good people, yeah.
Well, we're living in a strange world. People are like another an anxiety that it gives me and everybody else is the fact that before you were like living in this particular space of yourself and you were like kind of all entangled with your own challenges and opportunities. So you had to just figure out what is going on around you in your surroundings, in your village, in your small part of the town, in your neighborhood or whatever. But now,
Yeah,
because you're aware of everything, now you have to experience the anxiousness, the anxiety that is coming from all around the world. So something happens on the other
yeah,
side of the world. A genocide, unfortunately, happens. An invasion happens. Somebody important dies. Somebody does something horrifying, and then you become anxious because of that. I mean, you didn't even
yeah,
have to. You didn't even need to be anxious about it, and just all of a sudden,
yeah,
out of the blue, it just comes to you. And that's also something very bad, right? Like you didn't even have to know
yeah,
about that. You had to be, you had to be like just aware of your surroundings, and you had to just deal with those stuff at hand, not be worried about something that is happening on the other side of the world. But it is what it is right now.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know that that's why that we see a lot of channels on YouTube
Hmm.
platform that they are saying that we should not check our phones at the very beginning of the day.
Yeah.
So we have to reschedule it and postpone it for the late night. So because after that maybe we just forget. So it would be better that we should not check our phones totally.
And also at the very end of the day it could be harmful as well because
Oh,
any blue light from any screen triggers your alert system, your bodily alert
oh,
system, and then it kind of gives you insomnia. You cannot sleep very well at the very
oh.
if you use your phones before sleep, and that's why I have a lot of insomnia. I cannot sleep very well. Gosh,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm such a
absolutely.
hypocrite because of the fact that I keep saying everything like negative about social media, but I myself I use it a lot. I have to get out of it, man. I hope this
Yeah,
conversation helps me a little bit.
I hope.